Good morning. So I just made it to the beach just barely on time for sunrise. Just barely. The sun is going to be coming up right about there-ish. And the moon is in Taurus this morning. Jupiter is right next to the moon, but we can't see it now because the sky has become too bright. But when I first got up this morning at about 6:30 or so, they were right next to each other, looking so cute. To the moon, to the southern meridian, to the eastern sky for the sunrise. So, there are some reasons why I wanted to film this. Mainly because this is the moon that goes unnoticed. Legitimately, most folks aren't even going to see that moon right now. They're just not going to see it. They're going to be focused on the sunrise. And once that sun comes up, the moon is going to begin to fade out. And it'll set just like that. Just like the sun does, just like everything else does. And it's going to go mostly unnoticed. It's just weird. The funny thing is everyone's saying that the sun is in Libra right now, but the truth of the matter is the sun is in Virgo. So yeah, the moon is definitely starting to fade. It's less bright than it was even 10 minutes ago. What's going to happen is there's all of this kind of like foggy cloud cover above the ocean. And the moon is the light's gonna fade and it's gonna tuck behind all of those kind of wispy clouds. And it'll pretty much be hidden in plain sight. I noticed that there's fishermen out there. They're like, I'm gonna get out there early before the sun comes up, catch me some fish. But the problem with that is the best times for fishing is 1 hour before and 1 hour after the moon sets or rises. So this happens to be actually one of the worst times of day to try to fish. But I mean, if you're just doing it for the fun of throwing a line in the water and reeling it in and throwing it out and reeling it in and getting nothing, then if that's your jam, then you're on a good thing. If you need to practice casting and reeling, now's a great time. If you want to actually catch fish, you'll wait until the moon is way down there. But that's the problem with today's society is they're just completely out of touch with the natural rhythm of the earth and the universe. Last night I was sitting here enjoying my peace and quiet, doing my financial planning. And this woman comes up. Do you have an extra cigarette? And it was the hardest thing for me to do. But I did. I completely ignored her. She asked me several times and got closer and closer and closer until she was standing like probably 2-3 feet away from me. And I never looked up from the financial planning that I was working on, the writing that I was doing. I just don't get people. What makes you think you can walk onto a beach without any cigarettes and just hope to find somebody that's smoking and walk over and ask for a cigarette? Just, where does that great idea come from? That's just insane. I've been a smoker my entire adult life, and therefore I provide for my habit. If I want cigarettes, I make sure I have them. It's pretty simple. The same thing with coffee. I love coffee. So I make sure to have that shit. I'm not gonna walk onto a vacant beach and be like, y'all got a spare cup of coffee? It's not likely to happen. Somebody's gonna have a spare cup of coffee. Be like, here you go. Glad you asked. I was just waiting for someone to ask. Legitimately pisses me off. So yeah, gone are the days of overly edited videos and B-roll stolen from stock sites. I'm so done with all that. And I hope y'all don't mind the simplicity of how I'm doing this. The moon is fading and cruising behind the clouds. Look at that. It's gonna hide completely in plain sight. Watch this. See that? This is what I call the moon unnoticed. I'd like to be able to film the moon set, but I think it's just gonna hide. About the moon is it's said that it gets its light from the sun, reflecting onto it. But if that were true, then it would get brighter when the sun shines on it, when they're both up above the horizon. But it doesn't. The sun outshines it. So the moon becomes fainter, just like it's doing now. And of course, the faintness is definitely due to the wispy clouds in front of it. But it would only seem to make sense that as the sun comes up, that it would increase the brightness of the moon. The moon is in the waning phase right now. Oh, there's the first one. Yep. All the little floaters are here now. All my eye floaters are here now. Isn't that weird? They're not eye floaters. Really? Oh, that bitch just pinched the shit out of my finger. I could have done without that. I could have totally done without that. Ah. Alright. Whatever. It's fine. You know? It's cool. Let's just go down to the ocean. Go down to the water. doggy footprints, people prints. All this like foamy stuff. Beach foam. I don't know. People might say I'm lucky or unlucky for living here. There's two kinds of people in this world. Those that love the beach and those that don't. I'm a lover. I don't know if it's because I grew up on the coast and spent amazing amounts of my childhood just hanging out on the beach and swimming in the ocean. Or if it's just because I just totally resonate with this kind of majesty. One of the main reasons why most folks don't like the beach is because of the sand. But the thing of it is the sand, it just shakes right off. It goes away as easily as it comes on to the body. It just shakes right off. Oh, this one's going to come in. We might have to back up for this one. Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And this, my friends, is why you never turn your back on the ocean. Never. Never. Rule number 1 about being at the beach: do not turn your back on the ocean, because the waves are somewhat predictable, but mostly unpredictable. There it is. It's starting to break through the trees with tides coming in and getting ya. But here we got to be very careful, because this water, it comes up and covers this whole entire beach when the tide comes in. So that's what's cool about it, is you can come to the beach and have a ton of beach or very little. See how it comes in sets too, usually sets of like 3s and 5s, mostly 3s. See that? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You see that? And then there will be like a little calm lull. And this is going to chase me right back out again. Isn't that fun? This is why you definitely don't want to bring younglings to the ocean unless they know how to swim. Super very important that they know how to swim. I think before you teach your child how to say mommy and daddy, you should teach it to swim before anything else. And the sun is completely all the way up, you know. Oh my gosh, thank you, Jesus. I'm not even all about that Jesus Christ Christian stuff either, but I use the word Jesus. I love to how people say, like, you know, on cloudy days, the they wish the sun would come out. It's like the sun is out. Believe that. Otherwise, it would be dark like night when the sun isn't out. Hopefully, we'll get some sun today. Well, we're getting sun today. Believe that. Whether or not we're going to actually be able to see it is a different story. It's no different with the moon, you know? But it's weird how, like, the simplest mechanical concepts are just lost on folks.